All right, what about at center? Who is a big, beefy guy at the 5 you got to squeeze into your lineup, Nick?
Well, based on that description, I think you may be talking about Nikola Jokic, who is
Ooh.
the highest priced player on the slate at 12.5. And based on what I just said about Portland, I mean, this might be his best single matchup of the season, but it almost is like a suspiciously good matchup where you're like, can he possibly beat value when, Portland's defense is last in the league? They're without all these guys. He typically owns Yusuf Nurkic, his former teammate. This is a game that, not that Denver's been exactly running it up on teams this year, but this one could get out of hand, and you worry about Jokic maybe not playing, into the mid to high 30s in minutes. So I don't hate playing Jokic tonight, but I'd approach it with caution. If you want to save some money, there's two names that I'll throw out. Bobby Portis at 6,900, a relative discount to where he's been priced over the last few weeks. He is coming off of a down game against Charlotte the other night, but he gives you a really nice floor with his rebounding. He's been in double digits virtually every night, it seems. Has a ceiling in the probably low to mid 40 DraftKings points. And then a name that I've kind of been monitoring these last few weeks is Brandon Clark, who, ended last season out of the rotation, was in and out to begin this year, and he's reemerged as a pretty nice piece for Memphis. And part of that has been Steven Adams missing time. If Steven Adams plays tonight, obviously Clark becomes a little more risky, but even with Dylan Brooks out, maybe some of those minutes trickle down to Clark. At 5,200 for a guy who can offer production across the board, I still do like him as kind of a dart throw.
Matt, who's your guy at center?
So Nick did a good job outlining this Nikola Jokic matchup. I do think this is a little different than normal in terms of facing the Blazers, though, because Anthony Simons isn't there. And now we have a team who, yes, they've lost all of their guard scoring. They've also lost all of the players who play really bad defense, including Lillard, McCollum to a lesser extent, and Simons, who doesn't play much defense either. This is going to be a much slower game, most likely, and it's going to be a game where big men are more featured. I think Jokic will be popular, but Yusuf Nurkic on the other side, if this game is going to stay close, like the Blazers are going to have Dennis Smith Jr. at point guard. I think Nurkic will have to do more scoring, more facilitating. He's $7,600, and I think with the blowout concern, which is real, like I definitely buy that there's a chance this game blows out. But if it stays close, I think Nurkic has to be the guy that is the primary scorer, passer, just doing everything for Portland to keep it close. So I think there's a lot of upside for him at that price.